All right, so today we're going to be looking at a chapter in AP Chemistry called Descriptive Chemistry, which is basically just saying chemical reactions, trying to predict the products of a chemical reaction, how to properly write a balanced chemical equation, and even more importantly than that, how to do net ionic equations. So, the big part about net ionic equations is remembering your solubility rules. What dissolves, what doesn't. That will determine what things you have to write down when doing a net ionic equation. So just a couple rules to keep in mind when you're doing your net ionic equations. You do need to balance the equations, but you do not need to write down the phases of matter, like it says right here. So in the past, you might remember from sophomore year chem, we had you write down solid, liquid, gas, aqueous on each individual species, but that part is no longer necessary. The AP exam just assumes that everything is dissolved in water unless they tell you otherwise. So that part is not needed. Anything that is aqueous then should be written as ions. So, for example, sodium nitrate is soluble in water and ionizes very well, so you would not write it as NaNO3. Instead, you'd write it as this Na plus and NO3 minus. Things that are insoluble, solids, precipitates, do not break up in water. That's why you can see them, so you show their chemical formula together, AgCl, not broken up in ion form. There are a few substances, calcium hydroxide being one example, that are somewhat soluble, so it's okay to write it